The sun dipped below the rooftops. Long shadows stretched across Jason's lawn. Orange light faded from his living room window. Soon it would be completely dark. Jason shivered, though it wasn't cold inside. His parents had gone out for the evening. "We'll be back late," his mom had said. "Don't stay up too long." Easy for her to say. She wasn't the one left alone in the big, empty house on Maple Street. The silence was the worst part. It always seemed to press in on him when he was by himself. He wandered into the kitchen. Maybe a snack would help. He opened the refrigerator. The little light inside hummed. Cold air washed over his face. He grabbed a soda and a bag of chips. Crunch, crunch. The sound was too loud in the quiet house. He walked back to the living room. The television screen was blank and dark, like a dead eye staring back at him. He flopped onto the couch. Maybe he could watch some videos online or play that new game everyone was talking about. He reached for his laptop, flipped it open. The screen glowed to life. He clicked on the web browser. Jason frowned at his phone. No Wi-Fi. This was a disaster. How could he survive an entire evening without memes, without game streams, without knowing what his friends were up to? He tossed the phone onto the couch cushion beside him. It landed with a soft thud. He decided to investigate. The router was in his dad's small office downstairs. Maybe it just needed a good old-fashioned restart. That usually did the trick. He hoped it would do the trick tonight. He really hoped. He walked to the office. The door was slightly ajar. He pushed it open. The room was dark. Only a tiny green light blinked on the router. Blink, blink, blink. It looked like it was working, but it wasn't. He reached for the power cord, pulled it out, waited 10 seconds. 10 very long seconds. He plugged it back in. More lights flickered on the router. Amber, then green. Come on, he thought. Please work. He waited and waited. The Wi-Fi symbol on his phone remained stubbornly blank. Useless piece of junk, Jason grumbled. He felt a prickle of unease. It wasn't just boredom now. Jason tried to shake off the creepy feeling. He walked back towards the living room. He needed light. Lots of light. He reached for the light switch, flipped it up. The main overhead light flickered. Once, twice, then it stayed on. Weird. The bulb must be going. He made a mental note to tell his dad. He sat back on the couch, tried to read a comic book, but the words swam before his eyes. He couldn't concentrate. Every little sound made him jump. Then the light flickered again. On, off, on, off. It was like a strobe light at a spooky party. "Hey!" Jason yelled, as if the light could hear him. It finally stayed on, but dimmer than before. He stared at it, suspicious. That was not normal. Not normal at all. As he watched the light, he saw something. Out of the corner of his eye, a shadow. A tall, thin shadow darting across the hallway entrance. It was there for a second. Then, gone. "Who's there?" Jason shouted, his voice trembling. He jumped up from the couch. His comic book fell to the floor. Jason raced back upstairs from the basement. The living room lights were still flickering wildly. He had to get out of there. Maybe he could go to Mark's house. But his phone, he remembered. No Wi-Fi. He checked for a cell signal. 1 bar. Barely there. He tried calling Mark anyway. The call failed. Of course it did. Just then, a loud, sharp knock echoed from the front door. Knock, knock, knock. Jason nearly jumped out of his skin. Who could that be at this hour? He crept towards the front door. His legs felt like jelly. He peered through the peephole. The porch light was off, making it hard to see. But he could make out nothing. No one was there. Strange. He was sure he'd heard knocking. Was his mind playing tricks on him now? He hesitated. His hand hovered over the doorknob. Maybe it was just some kids. Ding-dong ditch, but with knocking. He took a deep breath. Jason screamed. He scrambled backwards, away from the coffee table, away from the doll. Its newly opened eyes seemed to pierce right through him. They were a pale, milky blue, and they looked hungry. He couldn't breathe. His heart felt like it was going to explode. That text message. Do you like my gift? Who was sending these? Who would leave this thing? This horrible watching thing? He had to get rid of it. Now. He snatched the doll from the box, trying not to touch its cold porcelain skin. Its eyes followed his every move. He could feel them, burning into him. He rushed to the front door, fumbled with the locks, threw the door open, and tossed the doll out onto the porch. It landed with a soft thud on the welcome mat. Face up, still staring. He slammed the door shut, locked it, bolted it, leaned against it, panting. Safe. It was outside. He was safe. For now. He backed away from the door, his gaze fixed on it. How did it get back there? Jason stared, his mouth dry. He hadn't heard a thing. No footsteps on the porch, no thump of it being placed back. It was just there, as if it had teleported. He backed further into the living room, away from the door, away from those awful staring eyes. He had to call someone, the police, his parents, anyone. He grabbed his phone. Still only one bar of signal. He tried calling 911, calling emergency services. The message displayed, then call failed. Just then, a new sound. A soft thud from upstairs, just like before. But this time it sounded heavier, like something bigger had fallen, or been dropped. Jason's head snapped up. His gaze darted towards the staircase. Every nerve in his body screamed at him to stay put, to hide, but an awful curiosity pulled at him. What was making those noises? Was it connected to the doll? To the texts? He had to know. He grabbed the heavy flashlight his dad kept by the fireplace. Its beam cut a shaky circle on the floor. He approached the stairs. Each step creaked under his weight. He's in the house with you. The words echoed in Jason's mind. He wanted to scream, to run, but his feet felt rooted to the floor. Who was he? Was it the sender of the texts? The owner of that horrible voice? He swung the flashlight beam wildly around the hallway. His parents' bedroom door. Closed. His bedroom door. Closed. The bathroom door. Closed. Everything looked normal. Except for that feeling. That terrible feeling of being watched, of not being alone. Then he saw it. At the end of the hallway, the attic door. It was a small, square panel in the ceiling, and it was usually kept locked, bolted shut. His dad always said there was nothing up there but dust and old memories. But tonight, the attic door was slightly ajar. A dark gap, no more than an inch wide. How? Who could have opened it? A faint scratching sound drifted down from the opening. Scratch, 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 like fingernails on wood. Jason's heart hammered. He didn't want to look. He really didn't want to look. But he had to. He slowly raised the flashlight. Jason let out a choked cry. He stumbled backwards, away from the doll, away from the attic's awful, silent promise of more horror. He nearly tripped over his own feet, his eyes still locked on the doll. It didn't move. It just sat there. At the top of the stairs, blocking his only way down. Or was it? He was trapped. Trapped on the second floor with a creepy doll, a mysterious he, and something scratching in the attic. What could he do? Where could he go? Crash! A deafening noise erupted from downstairs. It sounded like a stack of boxes had toppled over, or something much bigger. The sound came from the direction of the basement. Jason flinched, whirling around to face the stairs again, despite the doll. Through the banister rails, he could see the hallway below. The basement door, which was always kept closed, was now wide open, swinging slowly, creaking, inviting him down into the darkness, or daring him. Then he saw it. A figure, tall and shadowy. It darted across the basement doorway. Just a glimpse, a fleeting silhouette against the deeper blackness of the basement stairs. But it was enough. It was definitely a person. He reached the bottom of the main stairs. The basement door loomed before him, a gaping black maw. He could hear faint rustling sounds from within. The shadowy figure was gone from the doorway. Was it waiting for him? Deeper inside? He hesitated. This was insane. He should run out the front door. But the doll... He glanced back. It was gone from the top of the stairs. Where did it go now? This house was a maze of terror. Every escape route seemed to lead to another nightmare. He took a deep breath, plunged into the darkness of the basement stairs. The air grew cold, damp, musty. The flashlight beam danced nervously ahead, illuminating rickety wooden steps. He reached the bottom. The basement was vast, filled with old furniture covered in white sheets, like rows of silent ghosts. "Hello?" he called out, his voice a mere whisper. A floorboard creaked behind him. He spun around. The shadowy figure. It was there, at the top of the basement stairs, blocking his escape. It started to descend, slowly, deliberately. Jason screamed. He backed away, deeper into the labyrinth of covered furniture. The figure kept coming, closer and closer. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like the video, and also consider joining the Storytime Tellers by subscribing and sharing.